My beloved brothers and sisters, many waste years of their lives chasing after people who were never written for them by Allah. They run after love, after attention, after relationships, only to be left hurt, disappointed, and empty. The truth is simple. If Allah has not written someone for you, no matter how hard you chase, it will never happen. But when you place your trust in Allah, what is meant for you will find you, without you breaking your dignity or losing your peace. The pain of chasing what is not meant for you, the pain of running after someone who is not written for you is heavy and exhausting. You invest your time, your heart, and your hope into something that Allah never destined, and each effort feels like pouring water into a broken vessel. No matter how much you give, it slips away, leaving you empty. This emptiness is not just sadness. It is the soul telling you that you are chasing in the wrong direction. When you chase what is not yours, you are often met with rejection. You may bend your personality, change your habits, or overextend yourself just to be accepted, but each attempt only deepens the hurt. The rejection is not personal. It is divine decree showing you that this person or path was never meant for you. Yet because of attachment, you feel wounded again and again. The exhaustion from this chase is unlike any other. It is emotional, mental, and spiritual fatigue combined. Your heart becomes restless, your mind becomes clouded, and your body feels the weight of sleepless nights and unanswered questions. This weariness is a sign from Allah, urging you to stop running after shadows and to return your focus to Him. Some waste years clinging to relationships that bring no peace. They fear letting go, convinced they will never find another chance at love, when in truth holding on only blocks the arrival of what Allah has already written for them. This wasted time becomes a burden of regret, especially when they look back and realize that the signs of misalignment were there all along. Humiliation often follows when you beg for what was never yours. You lower your standards, accept disrespect, and compromise your dignity, all in the hope of holding on to something that was slipping away anyway. With each compromise, your self-worth erodes, and later you realize the price was far too high for something that was never meant to last. False hope becomes a cruel companion. You tell yourself that maybe one more message, one more effort, or one more sacrifice will change everything. Yet each time the reality repeats itself and the cycle of heartbreak continues. This is because love cannot be forced into existence when Allah has not placed it in your destiny. Infatuation is often mistaken for destiny. You convince yourself that the intensity of your feelings means it must be written for you. But when doors close, when obstacles appear, when peace disappears, these are all signs from Allah saying, not this way, not this person. Refusing to accept this truth brings only more pain and longer healing. The chase blinds you to red flags. You ignore disrespect, overlook bad treatment, and silence your own conscience in the name of love. But this blindness is temporary, and one day when the veil lifts, you realize you were clinging to harm all along. By then the scars have already formed and healing feels even harder. One of the most painful lessons is realizing that no matter how much you love someone, if Allah has not written them for you, nothing will work. Your efforts, your tears, your sacrifices, they cannot override qadr. The heart resists this truth at first, but with time, the soul finds peace in knowing that Allah's wisdom is always greater than human desire. The Prophet ﷺ said, what passed you by was never meant to befall you, and what befell you was never meant to pass you by. This hadith alone could heal many broken hearts, but when ignored, people keep running after what slipped through their hands, only to bleed deeper wounds. Trusting this wisdom is the first step toward healing. Chasing delays healing because it keeps you stuck in the past. You reread the same story again and again, hoping the ending will change, but it never does. Until you close that chapter completely, you cannot step into the new one Allah has prepared for you. The delay in letting go is a delay in your own peace. Sometimes this chase leads to sin. In desperation, people cross limits, sacrifice their modesty, and disobey Allah. just to hold on to someone slipping away. This is the most dangerous pain because it not only wounds the heart but also risks the hereafter. A relationship that takes you away from Allah is never worth the price. Even when the person is still present, you may feel lonely. You may have their attention but not their commitment, their company but not their respect. This loneliness cuts deeper than being alone because it is a constant reminder that you are holding on to something hollow, something that was never meant to fulfill your heart. Comparison sharpens the pain. Seeing the one you chase move on with someone else stabs the heart with feelings of inadequacy. You wonder why you weren't enough, not realizing it was never about being enough. It was about decree. What was written for them was not you, and what is written for you will never belong to someone else. Over time, this pain teaches humility. It reminds you that love is not achieved by chasing, begging, or forcing. Real love is a gift from Allah, given at the right time to the right hearts. You may feel weak in letting go, but in truth you are growing stronger, learning that your happiness is not tied to people but to Allah. Looking back, many realized that the greatest blessing was being saved from what they once chased. At the time, it felt like the end of the world, but years later, they thank Allah for removing what would have destroyed them. What once felt like heartbreak turned out to be protection in disguise. The pain of chasing makes you more cautious in the future. You learn to protect your heart, to set boundaries, and to guard your dignity. The scars you carry become teachers, reminding you not to throw your soul into hands that were never meant to hold it. You begin to place your trust in Allah's timing instead of your desperation. For some, the pain becomes a turning point in faith. It pushes them back to prayer, to dua, to reflection. They realize that no one can love them as Allah does. No one can write their destiny but Him, and no one can heal their wounds except Him. This turning point transforms heartbreak into worship and tears into strength. Eventually, the chase fades and acceptance replaces it. The heart begins to see that peace comes not from forcing destiny, but from trusting it. You realize that what you were chasing was never meant to be yours, and what is meant for you will come without humiliation, without desperation, and without chasing. In the end, the pain of chasing what is not meant for you becomes a blessing in disguise. It teaches you dignity, patience, and tawakkul. It reminds you to walk toward Allah, not after people. And when you stop running, when you let go and trust Him, you find peace, and you make space for the love Allah has written for you all along. Why Allah blocks certain relationships? Sometimes we cry over doors that Allah firmly shuts, not realizing that those doors lead to harm. The human heart only sees what it desires, but Allah sees the unseen, the hidden intentions, and the future we cannot predict. When He blocks a relationship, it is not cruelty, it is mercy in disguise. That closed door may be saving you from a lifetime of betrayal, hurt, or regret. Often, the people we cling to so desperately are not good for our iman. Their presence in our lives might distract us from prayer, weaken our sense of purpose, or lead us into actions that displease Allah. Out of His love, Allah intervenes, cutting ties we refuse to cut ourselves. In the moment, it feels painful, but in the long run, it is purification and protection. A blocked relationship is sometimes a shield from heartbreak you cannot yet see. What feels like rejection may be Allah saving you from someone who would break you in ways that would take years to heal. The pain of a temporary loss is always lighter than the devastation of living with someone harmful to your soul. Many times Allah blocks a relationship to redirect you towards something far greater. Your dua for love may be sincere, but perhaps your heart is asking for the wrong person. Allah knows this, so He redirects your path. He delays, He blocks, and He removes, because what you truly deserve is beyond what you are asking for. Another wisdom is that Allah blocks what you are not yet ready to handle. Sometimes the relationship you want could overwhelm you. You may lack maturity, faith, or emotional strength, and entering it prematurely could harm both you and the other person. Out of divine care, Allah holds it back until your heart is ready. At times, Allah blocks a relationship because it is one-sided. You may see love, but the other person may not have the same sincerity, loyalty, or intention. In His infinite wisdom, Allah does not allow you to waste your life begging for crumbs of affection. He protects you from humiliation by refusing to let it continue. Blocked relationships also save you from arrogance. If every desire was fulfilled instantly, you might forget Allah, thinking you achieved it all by yourself. By placing obstacles, Allah humbles you, teaching reliance on Him. Through this lesson, you realize that relationships are not built by chasing, but by divine decree. The Qur'an reminds us that Allah knows what we do not. Perhaps you dislike something which is good for you, and perhaps you love something which is bad for you. Allah knows, while you know not. 2:216. This ayah alone explains why certain relationships are blocked, because only Allah sees what lies beyond the surface of love and attraction. For some, a blocked relationship is the reason they turn back to Allah. The heartbreak drives them to the prayer mat, to dua, and to reflection. They realize that no one can write love into their destiny but Allah, and that He alone knows what is best. In this way, the block becomes the very door that opens faith. Sometimes the block is temporary. Allah may separate two people, not because they are wrong for each other, but because the timing is wrong. They may need to grow, to heal, or to strengthen their iman first. If written, they will meet again at the right time. If not, the separation itself is the blessing. When Allah blocks, it is also a reminder of qadr. We cannot force destiny no matter how hard we try. This surrender humbles the heart and softens it to accept divine will. Struggling against His wisdom only leads to pain, but trusting His decree brings peace even in heartbreak. Blocked relationships also reveal true intentions. When a door closes, some people show their real faces: anger, manipulation, disrespect. Their reaction proves that Allah saved you from a bond that was never sincere. What looked like love was only illusion, and Allah exposed it before it could destroy you. Many don't realize that Allah's blocks are actually acts of divine timing. He may be preparing a better person, or preparing you to be a better partner. To rush into something not written for you is to steal from your own future happiness. Allah ensures that what is truly yours arrives when you are ready. A blocked path is a test of patience. It challenges your ego, your heart, and your trust. Will you cling to what Allah has taken away, or will you trust Him enough to let go? The choice you make in that moment defines your growth, your iman, and your inner peace. Some people see blocked relationships as punishment, but in reality they are protection. Punishment would be allowing you to remain in harm without interference. Mercy is when